I think, I don't know, I'm curious on your thoughts there. Because it's something, at least like living in the US, crypto is adopted by people who are interested in technology, sometimes people speculating. There's no like real, sometimes there feels like there's not real problems that crypto solves here.
Yeah,
But
the real world use cases are definitely like fewer and further between. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I used to years ago we accepted Bitcoin at a coffee shop I used to own,
Right.
which was interesting. But it's not like to see
It wasn't required.
right. Yeah, to see it like really playing out in a different way in a place like Argentina, where you know there was kind of an experiment with a test net of getting a bunch of vendors onboarded to accept crypto, and you see things like Pinta token, and you see people using crypto. In the real world, it's just a different paradigm that I've been accustomed to.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, I think you spoke about use cases, and this is the thing. Like, sometimes I feel that we're at ETH Denver right now, and I saw a tweet yesterday that was like, everyone feels tired and blah, blah, blah. And I can see how you'd feel tired. It's like the innovations, we've gone from 0 to 10, right? And like that incremental innovation, there's sort of diminishing returns there. When in reality, it's about, hey, how do we expand this technology? Because I think the technological like increments are, you know, they're not going to be, you know, sort of entire step functions, right? Like there's a few interesting things like ZK and so forth, but technologically speaking, is like crypto's reaching this maturation point. We'll see things sort of happen, right? But it'll take longer. What I think this industry is really focused on now is how do we actually get this technology into the hands of people who really need it, right? And so what do people need it for? You know, things like how do, you know, you access a loan, for example, that has a really low interest rate? How do you make sure that governance systems are like fair and transparent? We've seen lots of problems with that, say, in the likes of Venezuela, for example, right? How do you think about the way, you know, you are rewarded for going through educational programs, right? It doesn't make sense in a region where education is already quite poor that people have to go through really long and arduous educational process before they get any rewards or incentives from the system, right? It's like why people end up selling, you know, candy as a 5-year-old kid, right? So there, you know, healthcare, like there are all these really exciting just use cases that I think the world is now sort of starting to think about, okay, well, great, we've built this incredible tech stack. Now let's get it into the hands of people who really, really need this, right?
It's like if we can prove these things out in like a smaller test net, then maybe they'll be adopted by kind of some of the bigger existing structures that can't move as quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I think to that point, that's what I love about, we were talking earlier, just like why crypto is such a great place. I sort of think about it to some extent as like a petri dish for all of us, like play with our ideas and explore, and because there's so much openness and creativity that's always welcome in crypto. Because you know, you guys are very focused on AI and, you know, some cryptography in there as well. But the crypto kind of ecosystem and community gives you the tools and the resources and the network to push your ideas out into the world, right? And that's like why we've been super focused on crypto, is because there are so many different avenues through which you can explore these principles, and then scale it outwardly to the rest of the world, right? And I think it's like fringe ideas, right? Start in these very kind of close, tight-knit communities, and then are able to grow and sort of expand from there.